Yeah. Mic check. I was gonna do that. Mic check. Monday. All right. Good morning, America. How y'all doing out there? It's Emos the Witness, and we're back for this Monday morning of the field show. As you know, since what the fuck I look like, right? We're holding truth to power, y'all. Holding politics accountable. And I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. to speak the truth to you, to be a guide, to be your witness, to all become witnesses. Political climate in this world is getting crazy. You don't know what's going on. So here I am bringing you a hot news show, a hot new political perspective. Catch me live downtown at 120 East Market Street every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And we're going to dig into the news this Monday morning. Yo, it's nice and rainy and dirty, so let's get into it. Dirty politics, y'all. I'm downtown, my man Wyatt, so let's get into it. Wyatt, let's get to that background music and let's get into the news of the day. There's a lot going on, you guys. As you know, maybe the economy, I don't know, maybe the whole world is going in disarray and shambles. You know, I've been reading a lot of news articles this morning and over the weekend, and it just seems it's getting kind of crazy out there. You know, we got a lot of Middle East talk to go through, a lot of war rumblings going on. We're checking on the Biden administration. We're checking on some of these tax refunds and these child tax credits that's coming up and some of these policies issues. And like I said, I like to dig into the policies. And that's the whole point of this is dig into the policies and dig into the truth and find out what these policies are trying to do to us and say to us. Because we had a lot of misinformation, forever. But the last 6-7 years in particular, and I myself been tired of it here at the Emos Witness Show. So this new show has been come about where I'm your guide and your referee. Where we sort through all these issues and all this nonsense and, from our elected leaders, from our business leaders, from our leaders in Hollywood and all kind of from entertainment, that anybody who wants to sway our opinion, anybody who wants to get our attention, for good or for worse, for better or for worse, anyway. So anyway, like I said, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm live, and I want you to come down here and I want you to listen to this show in person, or I want you to hit the subscribe button and watch it at your desk or cubicle. Or I want you to tune into it later on Spotify and all the major podcasts out there. We're growing as a show, and I want you to subscribe button and I want you to join and this be a mass assortment of witnesses, so we can build a power base where we can speak truth to power. We can hold our local, national politicians accountable. So when you go into that election booth in 2022 and 2024, you are informed, and we can start getting a nice plethora of leaders, better leadership in our offices. Maybe even you, maybe when you speak your voice, you'll start getting that vigor to change your community for the better. And that's what I'm trying to do with this show as well. And I want you to, join me in the Emos Witness Show, and I want you to, be more informed. As you know, the 2020 election was a crazy season. A lot of us didn't know which way was up. A lot of changes were occurring. 2016 was amazing. The rise of Donald Trump and a lot of investigations that still have our heads scratching. We still need to look into those and still follow up on what's going on with that. This country has a lot. There's a lot going on in this world, I'm so happy that I have the time and the energy to kind of like guide you through it, because no one else is. A lot of things going on in the mainstream media, a lot of things going on in the world today, even in social media is kind of manipulative and deceptive. They're trying to get you to think a certain way. No one's really giving it to you straight. No one's giving it to you down the line. Everybody has an agenda, all right? As long as you know that, as long as you accept that, as long as you accept that when you're reading the news and when you're getting your information, you're able to interpret this thing for the better, you're able to be more objective, then you're okay. But a lot of people are walking around aimless. A lot of people walking around like zombies. A lot of people walking around because they don't have the time to dig into these issues. But it does affect you. So why not get it from the source, get it from a source that's balanced, that's truthful. And here at Emos the Witness Show, I hope to do that for you. Hit that subscribe button. Grow with me. Website coming soon. Catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. when we're on time at 120 East Market Street. Hit that like, subscribe button. All right. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy season. And I'm just I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of investigative news. A lot of social societal, like crime stories, for example, and like, a lot of these people that, these crime stories I listen to, a lot of these stories are they're just unbelievable in nature. And, a lot of times these people that, they talk from, from a poverty standpoint or from a low income standpoint, from where they live in. They're doing these interviews, and I'm telling you, I think by the end of the year, by the end of the year, I think that there's gonna be, every year at the end of the year, there's a new word that enters the dictionary. There's a new word, about 4 or 5 sets of words that graduate and like become like a word, and they're in the dictionary. Every year, end of the year, you'll see it. I think like it did or like it is gonna be in the dictionary pretty soon.
Like it?
Yeah, it's like there's like 4 different versions now. There's like Like.
I'm not aware.
Man, I wish I had a video that showed that I could see someone use it in a sentence, because I cringe every time I hear it. But it's being used very often now. There's like, there's like ed. There's like I liked something, like past tense. Like I like that,
right.
Or and then there's like did, like it, like I like it's spelled like.
Use that in a sentence for me.
Man, it means the same. See that man, that yellow jacket? I liked it. I liked it. Yes. Like the ed is a part of the extra pronouncement. Like it's like LIKED ed.
No.
Like I liked it. Like I'm like, is that really a word? I mean, I've heard it probably about 15 times over the last month, but I've heard it selectively over the years. And I'm like, man, this is horrible. This is being accepted in society. So there's like, there's liked,
right?
There's like it did, like he like it did, but it's liked. It's like that's what it is, but it's like it did.
Who used that?
And then there's like there's like it did. It's like I like getting tickets. Like that one's totally different. That's like getting like just a different meaning altogether.
I've never heard liked it.
Next show, because this is all a Truman Show, y'all. The next show, I'm gonna bring you a lady using that in a sentence.
Like a legit.
I'm gonna try to find 2 to show you that it's getting real frequent.
Like a legit news video.
No, like
a legit.
Like a legit TV One interview show.
Yeah.
Crime story produced. The producer said, "Let that shit ride." You know what I'm saying?
Are you sure they're not saying like it? Like I think like it is a word, isn't it?
No, see that's not a fucking word. Like it. 12 subscribers. Call in somebody, motherfuckers. Seriously, like it. I think that's what they're saying. Okay, there's like, there's liked, and there's like it. And then there's like it did. Like he like it did. Like he like it did. Like he likes it. Like he used to like it. He like it did. Like he ate the ice cream and like it did. Do you believe that shit? I ain't saying it, but I'm telling you.
Like did.
What's that? What you got there?
When you used to like something or someone in the past, I liked him in the 8th grade.
But it says Urban Dictionary.
Right.
It's not yet graduated to official dictionary. And black people, we're known for building a culture and creating culture. So bling bling, all that shit. Hey, player haters hating. We do all that. So you're gonna see like it did by December 31st, 2021 or 2022. You're gonna see this upgrade to a new word. I guarantee. Watch. I have my prediction. You wants to win the show? Like it did.
I'm not putting it past.
You believe that shit?
I'm not putting it past us at this point.
You're gonna start, now that I brought it to your attention, you're gonna start hearing it more. You're gonna start hearing more often in your circles. But yeah, keep that in mind. Oh, why am I floating from the damn mic? Did you happen to see the image? Okay, there's a gas shortage.
Right.
Well, look, let me get into the news, because I'm gonna talk about the gas shortage here in a minute too. By the way, so that's somewhere down the line. Yeah. Anyway,
you're talking about people putting gas in their.
You believe that shit?
Bags.
People putting gas in big plastic bags and put them in their trunk. Like, I know we panic when we have these issues, when we have scary situations going on. You know what I'm saying, in the world, I guess. I mean, really, it's. Let me read this real quick before. Yeah, there's a picture right there.
I'll bring it up after you read that.
Well, you can go ahead and bring it up.
Okay.
It's cool. You picked the second one. Actually, it's cool. This caption, yeah, just like, what is that about? It always seems to happen in Atlanta too, or some some southern state, like when Atlanta gets a little ice sheet or ice storm, a little snow, a little bit of snow, a little bit of something like that.
How do you tie that?
They start flying. Yeah, somebody puts it in, but this is like the version of Walmart shoppers when they put their mask on. They put all these different shit on. Somebody's actually putting gas in plastic bags. And how do you tie that shit? Your shoes gotta be flooded with gas. I mean, it's ridiculous. People, we go batshit crazy when even the smallest shit happens. Can you imagine can you imagine a mass of troops just stormed our borders?
Imagine if anything happened that like was an actual threat.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, exactly. There
People
was
would just take one step outside.
You know what I'm scared shitless about. I'm scared about blackouts, rolling blackouts in the summer. Blackout,
electricity,
man. I mean, one fucking like you ever noticed, man? Like one fucking wind blow, like 10, 15 miles an hour wind blow, or a nice strong storm coming through this city, man. The power is out for like damn near 2 days in like half the damn city.
Do you have
2021?
Do you have power outages at your house?
No, I don't. But I mean, well, it happens. It happens if the bad storm comes through. It may go out for about a couple hours.
What do you guys?
A tree may fall.
What's your guys' reaction?
Well, I'm not. Well, shit. I mean, I'll usually. Well, one time in Michigan, I got a hotel because I kind of like planned ahead. I knew shit was coming. It was like some really bad shit coming. So I mean, I do gauge it now. I'm more. You know, as a parent, you get better at planning this shit. But I'll be staring at those generators. I stare at the Generacs. You know, like solar power. Like I want all that backup shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think. And then I'm worried that a storm may come through before I get all that stuff prepared. You know, I mean, that's probably every dad's father's nightmare or worry. I'm telling you, on the low, we stare at lows and shit like, okay, I can wait to get my generator and fix all this shit up. Get my garden, my greenhouse, and my shit stocked up for my kid, for my family, all that. We really do. At least I do. But yeah, man, I mean, this world is crazy, man. One storm. But let me get into it. People go crazy, and again, as you know, we had this cyber attack hack on our pipeline, and just reading a little bit about what happened, causing gas shortages in this Colonial Penn pipeline we have. Colonial pipeline. It's the largest pipeline we have in the United States. Gasoline shortages that hit the East Coast last week eased on Sunday as the Colonial pipeline, which supplies 45% of the region's fuel, returned to normal operations after a 6-day shutdown caused by what has been described as a devastating cyber attack on record. Well, the most devastating, rather. So we had some Russian hackers. We don't know if it's the Russian government, but it's Russian hackers. It could be Russian government supported hackers. I don't know. But anyway, we hack shit. Everybody hack shit. Russia's hacking shit, and they hacked our pipeline. And I guess allegedly, and Biden said no comment to this. We apparently paid a handsome ransom in order to get this pipeline ransomware software virus fixed or whatever. And in the meantime, it caused shortages and panic and caused price gouging in certain states. We didn't feel that effect here in Indianapolis. We actually got our regular we get our regular $2.95, $2.83 a gallon. Still too high. Still higher than the Trump administration was. Sorry, just want to bring that up. But anyway, after the shutdown of the 5,500-mile pipeline, which carries gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel from Texas to much of the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, panic buying and shortages plagued the region for days. Thousands of gas stations ran out of fuel, and many still had limited supplies on Sunday. Even though the pipeline is back in operation, the supply chain is still catching up, with refineries and distributors rushing to get gas back to normal before the peak demand of the summer driving season. Man, it's all coming to a head. See, I'm seeing all these scenarios, you guys. I'm seeing all these bad trends. And I'm telling you, look at Q3, look at Q4, and see where we're headed. Are we headed to a nuclear winter? A lot of shit going on in the world, and I'm going to bring it up here on Monday mornings. A lot of news going on. You must win this show. Hit that like, subscribe button. Catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Wave One Media. Come down and get you a show. Voice your opinion. Like me on Facebook, Twitter. Websites coming soon. We're a young show. We're growing with hot new political perspective. We're speaking truth to power. In an age of deception and manipulation, in an age of censorship, in an age of attacks on our Constitution, in an age of big media suppression, and you getting selective news, we need more voices. We need more heads, more eyes, more head turners. Okay, whether we agree or not. Okay. And so many critics are saying that the Biden administration pretty much dropped the ball on this. The Trump administration have actually created an agency to fight cyber attacks, and actually warned several companies and agencies about this coming down, including the pipeline, and to ward off it. There was no cyber attacks during the Trump administration on our gas pipelines. 100 days, 115 days in, we got the Biden administration going to shit. Soft. They are. This dude might be Jimmy Carter reincarnated, where our foes and our adversaries pounced at the right time at the same time. And that's what you're seeing going on in the world. That's what you see going on right now in the Middle East. Look what's going on with Israel and Hamas. Not just Hamas, but Israel. But I want to stay on track. I'm going to jump into that, but I want to go back. I want to go back and talk a little bit about, some things you need to know about this week. And this is health officials clarified new CDC mask guidelines. The U.S. public health officials on Sunday made a push to address confusion surrounding the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's new masking guidelines. The CDC last week reversed a long-standing call for wearing face coverings, saying it was safe for fully vaccinated people to go without masks in most indoor and outdoor settings, although the agency left it up to local jurisdictions and businesses to set policies in specific places. This is not permission for widespread removal of masks, said CDC Director Rochelle Walensky on ABC this past Sunday. Walensky emphasized that the looser policy on masks only applies to people who are fully vaccinated, while those who have not been vaccinated should continue to wear masks and practice social distancing. So there's another clarification. Remember, as I stated before, the past year and a half, I stated that the biggest issue with this whole pandemic, this whole plague, the biggest issue is the misinformation and the communication around it, surrounding it, the confusion. You can see the greed involved. You can see the deception involved. You see people taking sides and people having agendas way over what should be priority, which is the health of our well-being. And this is another disclaimer, another correction, another let's clear the air. We're sorry to confuse you again with misinformation and mixed information. But what are we to take from this? What if you weren't vaccinated? How do you know? If I'm not wearing a mask, how do you know I'm vaccinated? But my local news just said we're gonna go by the honor system. How do you feel about that, Wyatt? That the masking mandate is now removed, but if you go out and about and you see people without masks, you don't know if they've been vaccinated. You right? You don't know. Are you okay with that? Because right now this mandate or this new update pretty much tells everybody you can go ahead and go out in public and not wear a mask. Because how do you know?
Okay with that?
Yeah.
Personally,
I mean, when you read this update, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel any changes does it make you shrug your shoulders, or is like I don't understand what this means, or what?
I mean, for me, I've always been doing the same stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that a lot too. A lot of people just like kind of living life as normal.
Right. I mean, I just think there's a lot of states that have opened back up.
Mm-hmm.
There's still states like California and New York that are still wearing masks.
So are you the type that's like, man, I see what's going on in the world, but I'm just not really trying to get involved with that. Like, hopefully everybody does get vaccinated, but I'm not one of those people to get vaccinated.
Oh, me, no.
Yeah. So you kind of like, let's just hope they run its course, but not really jump into the fray.
Right. For me,
yeah.
I mean, this is just based on my experience, but I just think if I'm young and I'm a healthy, active person, I don't think I need that. But I'm not saying like I'm not saying that like I'm not against it for older people, people with like underlying health conditions and stuff like that. But for me, no. But
that's how I feel.
Yeah,
like I feel like I should really like I'm young. I still have the ability to take care of my body and my immune system and keep it protected by the things that I do and things that I eat.
Yeah.
And it's like I understand as a young child or older adult or the elderly, they need extra shielding, extra protection.
Right.
So I don't I never want to discount these vaccines, and I don't want to like I said, my opinion is that I'm not going to want to take it.
Right.
But I'm not discouraging others not to.
Right.
I'm just want to say that you guys need to be very aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And look at the other agendas surrounding the whole issue.
Yeah.
know?
At this point, I don't even really care like what direction somebody goes, whether they take the vaccine, whether they don't, whether they're for it or against it. The only thing that I care about is people's choice to decide and figure out what they want to do on their own, and not have one forced thing upon everybody where they don't have any decision or anything. I just don't think that falls within like what it means to be in this country and stuff.
Right. I definitely understand what you're saying there. So yeah, I mean, and that's where we are with it. I think that 44% I think of the Americans so far have been vaccinated, and so I think we're getting closer and closer to that herd immunity. And I'm like, yeah, so be it. I mean, go for it. I just want to be part of that 44% and rising. I want to rely on what I've been doing and what's been trusted in me over the years. First and foremost, and then. Once all the information and misinformation goes away and we start seeing some positive results as a whole, maybe then I'll consider at that point in time. But, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, in my opinion. So, let's move on to some more news. Like I said, I mean, this Middle East stuff is going crazy. I said last Friday I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Middle East. UN chief calls for Israel-Hamas ceasefire. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Sunday called for Israel and Hamas militants in Gaza to end their utterly appalling conflict immediately. Excuse me. I had cabbage last night, man. It was crock pot action, man. I'm telling you, I'm good with it.
Cabbage.
Yeah, but hey, look, don't knock soul food.
I like cabbage a lot.
Yeah, but how do you eat your cabbage though? You probably got the MCL style. You probably got the potatoes in there. How do you get down with
I don't know. My mom makes it.
Okay, have you seen her make it?
No.
It kind of smells like the house lived on. It kind of stinks the house up a little bit, don't it? Cabbage.
I like.
But I mean, are you doing the cabbage with like? What's I mean? Is it like? Are you doing it in the soul food? I know you're not doing the soul food, man. I hate to judge you like that. But are you putting potatoes and like
I like
sausage in there or something?
Like collard greens and I like a lot of that stuff.
Okay, your mom making that?
She makes collard greens sometimes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Does she not doing the can action? Is she washing the greens?
She washes them and everything. Yeah.
Dang. Okay. She's getting down to get down.
Yeah. But the cabbage. I don't know. I like corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah. See, the older I get, I'm starting to get on that corned beef side of it. But no, man. I mean, like definitely on a nice cold rainy day too, man. You throw some cabbage in there in a crock pot with ham shanks. Throw some ham shanks in there. Maybe you cook some bacon. Put that bacon grease in there. I'm sorry, man, but this is they may sound unhealthy, but I'm just telling you that's how you do it. The bacon in there, in the crock pot chicken broth. I'm going too far with it, but I had that last night. And then I get mine a little spicy. I put red pepper, jalapeno in there, garlic, fresh, all of it. And I let it cook for 6 hours, slow and low. But I'm telling you, I'll bring you some, man.
Yeah.
You like cabbage. I'll do it next time. But that's what had me anyway. Most of the show, we jump around a lot, and we go on tangents. One burp can take your ass to the stratosphere. I could be talking about Israel, and next thing you know, I'm talking about Mars. But that's the whole point. We got to cover everything, all our bases here at this show. Emotional Witness live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube. You can catch me on Spotify, all the podcasts. We coming soon. Even websites coming soon as well. Hit that like, subscribe button on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. But yeah, man, like I said, the war is heating up in society. And like I said, is this Jimmy Carter redo part 2, where our enemies perceive us as weak, and they're just pouncing? We see what's going on in Russia. We see what's going on in now Israel. In the Middle East and China. We see what's going on, the South China Sea and in Taiwan. The economic maneuvers. OPEC. Attacks on our infrastructure, our pipeline. Look at the border crisis. Look at all this shit culminating. And you wonder if this administration is doing it on purpose. Is it a socialist agenda on the rise? Is this what this administration wants in the background? That's what's being worked on. I mean, if it's a duck, it's a duck. If this is what I'm witnessing. You need to tell me where I'm wrong. But over the decades, over the past 10 years at least, I've witnessed so much shit that I've changed my view on the parties. I changed my view on the politicians and how I look at them now. I'm more independent than ever because of the manipulation, because of the skew, because of the deception, because of the corruption. But as I stated before, not only that, mainly because of also foreign policy. You know, how we act and how we operate in the world. How we've been the world's policemen, and how we've squandered money and opportunity to make peace and make proper deals. And during the Trump administration, we changed all that. We had a lot of peace deals going in the works. The Abraham Accords, what's going on with that? We moved from Afghanistan. We ain't heard shit from North Korea in like 5 years. Now they testing missiles and threatening us now. Not 100 days in the Biden administration. Because they perceive weakness. They see a change in policy. They see a fumbling buffoon in office. I'm trying to tell you. And I have proof of that. I'll show it to you at the end of the show. Descriptions and all. This guy's crazy. We have a walking cadaver nut job in the office. You know, we don't, what you see on TV when you do see him, when he does do a press conference and when he does speak, you see a stammering individual who just doesn't seem to have all of his wits about him. But not only that, that's not the true him. Behind the scenes, he's a lot more combative, a lot more evil, a lot more of more tyrannical, short-tempered, hanging up on people when I'm watching and witnessing. I mean, I guess it goes with a lot of people. You know, you don't ever really see their true colors behind the, until if you're not behind the scenes. But anyway, he's dropping the ball on a lot of things in Israel and Hamas, and you know Benjamin Netanyahu is going to take advantage of this kind of stuff. Anytime there's a rocket attack, anytime there's a chance for Israel to do something in the Middle East or in that region to push their agenda or push their boundaries, if you will, they're going to do it. And there's a quote here by Benjamin. Okay, let me see. The death toll from Israel's Sunday morning airstrikes on Gaza City rose to at least 42, according to Palestinian medics. Israel launched more strikes on Monday. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended Israel's airstrikes, saying that they would continue at full force and would take time. He said Israel wants to levy a heavy price on Hamas militants that have been launching rockets into Israel. Man, those are the keen words. Take time, full force. Wants to levy a heavy price. Okay, we didn't see none of this shit in the past 4 years, but now this is setting the stage. These are like preludes to bigger things, wars and rumors of wars. Okay, they're gonna take their time strategically bombing this area. There's no insight. There's no let's go back to the table. It all starts now. Look at Russia amassing troops around the Ukrainian border. Ukrainian officials threatening to take over Crimea, to finally take over and get back their annexed land. All these things are setting up the theaters and boundaries for war. What's going on in Taiwan and China. And then you don't do those things unless you see a weak president on the horizon, unless you have a chance, opportunity to pounce. Now, if we don't go to war, if we don't do anything like that of that nature, we're going to seize some ground. We're going to seize some middle ground. And that's what these leaders and these war leaders are doing. They're taking advantage of the opportunity in front of them. These maneuvers they're making. What are we doing in contrast as a country? Americans are disenchanted with these policies that the Biden administration is producing right in front of our eyes. They're bad policies. They're a reversal of what we wanted. Now, you mix that with illegitimate. Hold on, I don't want to get to that part yet. But I want to play this video real quick from Justice Janine Pirro, where you want to hear about the squad, and I want to make sure I get all these names right. Before you play that, let me introduce the squad to the witnesses out there. Let me look them up real quick. One is known as AOC, Ocasio-Cortez. I'm going to say her name right. Let me get it right. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Elian Omar, Minnesota. I thought she was from Michigan. That's Rashida Tlaib. Rashida Tlaib of Michigan and Ayanna Presley of Massachusetts. I guess they've been joined by Jamal Bowman of New York and Cory Bush of Minnesota.
And who are these people again?
Now, these are the young Democratic leaders in the House of Representatives. 4 women and now 2 men, apparently. Now, I don't know if you remember them. You probably don't remember them at all, but they sprung about right in 2016 during the 2016 election. They were pretty much elected to Congress around that same term, that same season. Oh, those are Golden Globes. I want a Golden Globe. This guy's walked past with like 4 Golden Globes. How do you walk around with 4 Golden Globes in Indianapolis on a rainy day on a Monday? They can't be real.
No, I have no idea.
I know. I just kind of saw that and kind of got my attention. But anyway, the Squad, they're fiercely socialist. Socialists, I think I can call them that, and they're definitely pro-Palestine, and they're pro a lot of other agendas that are going on that are, to me, that are detrimental to our country. And they're actually my alter ego, not my alter ego. They're my, I wouldn't say my foe as far as policy think. We're kind of opposite in a lot of ways. But the Squad is definitely wreaking havoc, and they actually, to me, that's in my opinion, actually been kind of suppressed by the smart, established leadership of the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. If you notice, there were a lot of promises offered to Bernie Sanders, and the Squad and the like, and that's been kind of suppressed in committee, in various committees, and in their agenda. We don't see we don't see healthcare for all being promoted as much as Bernie Sanders wants. But again, they have an impact in the party. I don't know how strong it is, nationally, but they are definitely a thorn in society's side. And you see President Trump talking about these ladies often, and their rhetoric and their agenda and the policy they're spewing is kind of dangerous to America. And this is them talking about the Israeli and Palestine issue on the House floor. And remember, this is all setting the stage for these are all preludes, and you wonder why they're striking out now when they couldn't otherwise before. And I think we have a presidential leader that's accepting this and is forward, and also leaders are passing on it because he's a weak leader. So let's play 11:02 mark and hear some of this rhetoric.
This is not about both sides. This is about an imbalance of power.
We need to stop and look at the fact that our own country is enabling it with billions of dollars every year being issued to Israel, even though they are promoting racism and dehumanization.
The pain, trauma, and terror that Palestinians are facing is not just the result of this week's escalation, but the consequence of years of military occupation.
Okay. Now, I don't want to pretend to be, well informed on the Israel-Palestine issue. I don't want to pretend like I'm some kind of professor, MIT, astute learner of all this. So I don't pretend that, but I know that, this is, a long-lasting conflict that's been going on for centuries. Go back in biblical ages, and it's something we really, to me, it's just something we really can't solve. It's something we really can't continue to get ourselves in the middle of. But I know one thing is that we, as a country, support Israel. We as a country have a lot of Israeli citizens. We have a lot of diversity in this country as a whole. A lot of Palestinians that live here as well. As our current policy is, we are terrorist. We did label them as a terrorist organization. We need to change the designation, come to an agreement, come to an understanding on the wording of how we promote a lot of this stuff. And we need to actually kind of, if it's a terrorist, it's a terrorist, and we shouldn't support that at all. But if we're using that word loosely and it's not accurate and it's not, it's not adding up to what's really going on the ground. If there's really atrocities, we need to point those out. We need to stop those things. But we need to find an agreement. It feels like we was on the way with the Abraham Accords. But what sparks rocket attacks? What sparks, full force? When it wasn't otherwise a year ago. So where's the gap in leadership? Where's the peace through strength? People are taking their shots. That's what's going on. That's what's most important. People taking their shots, no matter how we feel about the issue. We're back to square one again. And a lot of these hot spots. Let me take a quick little pause. You get the background? Okay. And so here at the Emo Witness Show, like I said, hit that like, subscribe button. Catch us live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Wave One Media. Come down here and get you a show. Speak your opinion. Speak your voice. Lend your opinion on a lot of these things. Because if we don't, our Constitution is going to be run rampant upon, trampled upon. Your right to vote is going to be trampled upon, suppressed. If they think you're not aware of what's going on. So let me be your guide. Let me be your witness. Let me bring you to the forefront of what's going on with these news and politics issues. And you're well aware. You're well informed. Okay. Okay, because right now there's a lot of confusion, a lot of issues going on in just domestically as well. I mean, you know, gas shortages. You got to wear a mask. Or you don't wear a mask. You know, we got wildfires in Los Angeles. And right here we got American households. Maybe this is good news. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't think it is personally. Per Market Watch, American households will finally get their child tax credit boost. Here's when that first payment will arrive. So, according to Market Watch, actually, we should go down a little bit wider. Hit continue reading. It'll pull the Market Watch. There you go. Now, of course, you know we received our stimulus payment. Like I got mine like back in like I think February or maybe even January, and here we are in May. And we're still talking about like little portions of the stimulus, like each article is like a little leak or a little like it's like the stimulus is being rolled out in sections. Like you got the first rollout, people who have direct deposit. You got the second rollout, people who have paper checks. You got the second rollout, people on disability. You got another rollout for people who are veterans, people on unemployment. We got this tax credit. Now things are being reviewed. It's like they want to walk you through each step over the next few months. And really what they're doing is like they're distracting you and slowing the process from other matters. The first stimulus rollout during the Trump administration didn't take this long. There was no news by news said, okay, now we're doing this, now we're doing that. You just sent the shit out. Now IRS refunds are delayed because I guess apparently there's a backlog. Or we had to issue stimulus checks, so we didn't have time to do this. That shit didn't happen last year. A lot more efficient in the Trump administration. But now we have this child tax credit that we may have heard about. Now we're getting monthly payments for parents with, let me go and read into it. More than 2 months after federal lawmakers boosted the child tax credit payout and broadened eligibility as one part of its $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, there are more specifics about those enhancements. So now we have specifics now, 2 months later. Now we get into the specifics. Now we get into the details of it. What happened 2 months ago? Why not just give it to us then and get this shit rolling if the economy needs it? But the economy does not need it. We'll get into that here in a second. Let's continue reading. The Treasury Department announced Monday that payments will be made on the 15th of every month, beginning in July and running through December. The payments are scheduled for the 15th unless that date happens to be a weekend or holiday. The payments will reach households raising an estimated 65.25 million children, according to senior administration officials. That's about 39 million households, representing 88% of American families with kids, per the Treasury Department. Some 80% of eligible households will be getting the money via direct deposit. The other 20% of eligible households without direct deposit information will receive their payments, paper checks, debit cards. Now, what's going to happen? We're going to see another article about a month later. Hey, paper checks are now being rolled out for those getting a child tax credit. Then the month after that, we'll see, oh, you guys know those with debit cards are now getting there. Like, why are you stalling? Where are the IRS refunds? See, I think something's going on with this economy that we don't know about. When you look at the cryptocurrency market, volatile, the ups and downs, and when you're seeing how the hell we have low unemployment, we have high, unemployment is rising. We have jobs that are out there, but no one is accepting them because why? They're getting paid to sit on their asses. The stimulus was needed when it was needed, but now it's oversaturation. Now it's become a socialist agenda, a handout. And in my opinion, it's deliberate. And this is another example of it. We're going to continue to give you handouts and weaken the capitalistic economy. And now you're depending on a large government for all your needs. So now we want out this child tax credit. We got another $1 trillion bill coming around the corner. We're talking about an infrastructure bill. All this stuff is gonna you got pipeline issues, you got cyber attacks, you got border issues. All that weighs in on your dollar. It does. You may not see it now, but you're gonna start seeing it. I mean, you should see it at the pump. It ain't even summer yet. It ain't even peak summer season yet. I know I'm sounding like someone who may be complaining, but I'm just trying to be a witness and I'm trying to warn you of the trends, of the signs. It's not all peaches and creams. And I mean, maybe you see that. You know, those tweets don't sound, those mean tweets don't sound so mean now, do they? Emos to Witness Show. Hit that like, subscribe button. 10, 11 a.m. live, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, you catch me at 120 East Market Street. Hit that like, subscribe button. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. My website is coming soon. It's actually in process now. How you like that? I know I've been saying that for so long. But yeah, the Biden policies, man, they're impacting the American people negatively, man. I'm just trying to tell you. You know, I think we're seeing a Jimmy Carter. I think we're seeing a one-term president. I hope so. You know, and I think that the GOP, they're smart about it. Look at this poll. Most GOP voters, hold on. See, I'm jumping around again. I'm going to get just a little bit more. Let me read this last part about the tax credit. In March, the American Rescue Plan increased the child tax credit from $2,000 to $3,600 for children under age 6. It increased the payout of $2,000 to $3,000 for children above that age, and includes 17-year-olds. The increase is good for 1 year. So what is that? So they're getting payments of how much? Okay, half of the payment will come from monthly installments, unless the household opts out of that agreement in order to get a full amount at tax time. These monthly payments will be $300 per child under age of 6 and $250 per child between the ages 6 and 17. Okay, there you go. So you get monthly payments of those $250 and $300 based on age. Age 6 and under get $300. 6 and 7 through ages 6 and 17, you get $250 per child. The news that the payments will be monthly will be welcome for millions of parents. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, these things like a short-term fix, or for the American people. But they'll remember it. You see, that's what's so scary about it. In the short term, they remember, oh, it was Biden that gave us that tax credit, monthly payment. But long term, how's it hit you? You know? When it's time to vote, long term, when that dollar, where you go buy that bottle of ketchup that's $8. Did you really need it? After all the stimulus we received thus far, it's time for us to get back to work, y'all. It's time for us to open up. It's time for us to start building things. Start producing. Having smart, common sense policies. Not reversing shit. Every administration reverse the policies. Let's reverse these leaders. Let's get some term limits in here. Okay? But yeah, like I said, so that's what you know about the stimulus payments coming out right now. We're still waiting to hear about the IRS payments. If you hit this next article real quick, I'll just tap on that. The tax refund delays. Backlog of income. Let me read the headline. What does it say? Backlog of income tax returns is growing, delaying refunds to millions. So the IRS is falling behind in processing millions of income tax returns, potentially delaying refunds for many Americans. According to the Taxpayer Advocate Service, the independent arm of the IRS focused on tax filers' rights and agencies is holding almost 31 million returns for manual processing, just ahead of the May 17 tax filing deadline, which is today, by the way. This is the deadline for taxes, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. The backlog has grown by 2 million returns since mid-April. I filed my taxes back in February. The National Taxpayer Advocate Aaron M. Collins told CBS Money Watch, "I was hoping it would go down, but I'm not that optimistic," she said of the logjam. "Taxpayers will continue to experience usually long delays. I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but that's the case." Collins has flagged the issue in an April 22 blog post when a number of tax returns held up for manual processing had reached about 29 million. Some of those returns are paper tax filings from 2019, which the IRS has got behind in processing due to coronavirus pandemic last year. Man, I'm telling you, coronavirus is an excuse for everything, boy. I'm saying you get away with anything. Just use that pandemic as your excuse. You can get away with anything. Sick. If you got like 2 weeks of sick days at your job, you might as well consider it to be 3 weeks. Because you can use about a week on coronavirus excuses. I'm telling you can. Who's gonna fire you? They're hiring everywhere. Like, I ain't going back today, boss. I'm not feeling too well. What's wrong? The pandemic? Oh, well, stay your ass at home. Go to bed. Call us next week. Your ass in Bermuda, hanging out on that stimulus money. So we're looking for, we got, all this shit has to kind of like recede. We're going for a big old storm where it's flooded everywhere. Let that water recede. Quit trying to apply policies and money and throw money at the situation. You don't know what the fuck's going on yet. Let's let this economy sort out. Let's let these jobs recuperate and regenerate. Let's open up. Let's hire. That's what the incentive needs to be. We need to make sure we throw that money towards these owners to incentivize people to come to work. Hey, $500 to bring your ass in just to talk to me. You know, people are like interviewing on the spot. Like, come here, man, just talk to us. We'll give you $50 to just interview with us. Man, that just showed you the impact of a socialistic policy, you know, that's run amok. So quit doling out money, damn it. Let's get to work. But yeah, like I said, these policies are going to be detrimental, in my opinion, to the Democratic Party as a whole in the future, in the coming elections, if they keep it up. And it seems to appear that GOP voters understand that as well. Look at this article right here. Poll says most GOP voters, we can check that out, think that the 2020 election was illegitimate, but lawmakers should prioritize other issues. And that's very smart, because I believe that. Let's read a little bit of this before I go into my tangent on it. 2/3 of GOP voters don't believe President Biden won the 2020 election fair and square, suggesting former President Donald Trump's false claims of widespread voter fraud still has momentum. At the same time, however, most of those voters think Republican lawmakers should focus their energy on proposing important legislation. In fact, supporting election fraud claims was found to be the least important issue of the survey, trailing economic policy and culture and values as well. Let me go down a little bit more. I like what they're trying to do as a party here in particular. They're really cleaning house, and they started with Liz Cheney and a lot of other areas, and Donald Trump's in the background doing a lot of this. The sentiment was also reflected in questions about Rep. Liz Cheney. An overwhelming majority of respondents backed her ouster, but the most popular reason given was that Cheney wasn't on message with the rest of the party, rather than her thoughts on the 2020 election. Like I said, her thoughts are that, Trump caused the Capitol riots, and that, she pushes back against, and of course, her about 10 other established Republicans, pushing back against the notion or the claim that the election was stolen or rigged, as President Donald Trump claims. But of course, the base does not feel that way. Finally, there are more Republican voters who think that the party should be expanding the base by emphasizing policies and ideas. Then there are those who believe lawmakers should prioritize pushing for changes in state voting rules. The CBS News government poll was conducted among 951 Republicans in the United States between May 12th and the 14th. Margin of error 3.5%. Now, this article, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, they give you more details about the polls, how it was conducted. And if you read this article, you see that, like I said, they're getting ready. Republicans are getting ready for 2022 and 2024. They want to take the House back and the presidential office, and they have a good opportunity to do so. And looking at the fact they want to take care and dig into, focusing on the policies and ideas, because they know that the American people as a whole, even most liberals, even some, not most, but some liberals, know that some hanky-panky went down in 2020. Knowing that, hey, I don't, as much as I don't like the previous president, to hell if you're gonna mess with my voting access and my right to vote, or the strength of it. So a lot of people want accountability. They want questions answered about the integrity of the election in 2020, no matter who won. So you're not gonna be able to, Democrats are not gonna be able to play that same game in the upcoming seasons, because the eyes are watching. They don't want to repeat. They don't want trumped up lawyers. They don't want lawmakers changing the rules, election rules, state officials changing election rules before the election without going any kind of legislative review. All these sworn affidavits not being addressed, all these judges dismissing cases, not hearing real legitimate cases. Voting machines, people threatening defamation and different lawsuits over that, when there's still truth to be held, when there's just lawyers galore all over the place. All that, and you have to vote between all that. Do you think? I didn't bring up people who influence government, as a whole, with their money, and then you drop your little vote in between all that, all the corporate lobbying. You think you have an impact? You think you have a strong say? I highly doubt it. But either way, you got to keep pushing. And we think 2020 may have been like the tipping point of opening people's eyes. You see the changing of the laws going on now, the review going on in Georgia, in Arizona, in Pennsylvania, and in Michigan. These hotspot swing states. Okay, so Republicans are getting ready. They're And the GOP base knows they're smart. Like, just leave the election alone. Leave the claims of the election alone. We already know where the American people feel about that. But if you focus as a party on policies like you always have, you have the better policies. You have the better debate. We seen Marjorie Taylor Greene just the other day want to debate Ocasio-Cortez. She didn't want to have nothing to do with it. She's been trying to debate AOC for months. Instead, they slandered this lady in the press, calling her a bully and deep state, well, not deep state, but just some whack job with QAnon and all that. But she's a pit bull, and they're fighting on behalf of Trump, and she's making noise, and they don't like that. If you want to push climate change on us, you should be able to speak about the policies of it, the cost of it, the details of it. But you don't want to speak that because that's not what it's about for the Democrats. It's about power grabbing and money grabbing. As long as they have the upper hand on influencing you in the media, they're going to continue to do that. And that's where they're good at playing that game. So the upcoming election season, if they play that game, they can win because they're the best at playing it. But will we allow them to is a question. And we shouldn't. And we won't this year. He wants to win this year. Hit that like, subscribe button, 10 to 11 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Catch me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Website's coming soon. But yeah, like I said, as you know, Wednesday's coming up, and we get into Investigation Wednesday. Where, like I said, every Wednesday I want to dig into a politician. I want to dig into an investigation. I want to go into the background of it. Re-explore the details of it, see what a deception was, see where it lies currently, see if anybody was held accountable, and how does it affect us, and why is it important. So again, I'm going to continue with the Mueller investigation of the investigation into the Russia hoax, Russian spying investigation on the Trump administration or campaign. The cast and characters involved in that, who's impacted, who's involved, who's responsible. And we'll be covering that every Wednesday. And we flesh that out in detail and bring it up to the current status that it's in with the Horowitz and Huber investigation. Durham investigation, which is also a criminal probe. So we'll see if anybody's going to be held accountable for that over the next few months. And we'll see how well the Biden administration does at suppressing the news on that topic, because he's involved very deeply as well. And we'll get to all that here at the Most to Win This show. I want everyone to have a great week. Enjoy yourself. It's a gloomy day on Monday, but I want you to stay optimistic, stay vigilant, stay strong, focus on your family and what's important, and stay aware of what's